All right. Sometimes you have, well, almost always, you have values for which a rational function is undefined, which is where your denominator is equal to 0. Usually it results in a what we would call like a vertical asymptote. Sometimes you get what we call a hole. So sometimes you can get a hole in your graph. Not a hole. It's a hole. It's okay. That's really coming out wrong. We're not looking for a hole. Okay. We're looking for asymptotes and holes. There we go. So if you get a problem like this where you have a trinomial on top and a trinomial on the bottom, and what you want to do is you want to factor the top, where we need factors 9 to add 6. You get an x plus 3 times an x plus 3. And then we want to factor the bottom also. You need factors of 3 that add up to a 4, where you're going to get x plus a 1 and x plus a 3. So if you're looking at the denominator and you're trying to figure out, what are my vertical asymptotes going to be, you would say, set your x plus 1 equals 0 and x plus 3 equals 0. However, if you notice, you may have a common factor on top along with a common factor on the bottom. So typically what would happen, those would cancel one another out. Doesn't mean they go away. What that means is you're going to have a hole in your graph at x plus 3 equals 0, which means you're going to have a hole at x equals negative 3. Now that only occurs whenever you have a common factor on the top with a common factor on the bottom. So that is how you find where a hole is in your graph. So let's find the rest of your asymptotes. We know we can find our vertical asymptote wherever your denominator is equal to 0. Well, you can't include the x plus 3 here because that canceled out here. So what we're going to do is we're going to set just the x plus 1 equal to 0, which means you're going to have a vertical asymptote at negative 1. I should probably put some boxes around these. We can separate them. Gotta keep them separated. And the last thing we need to do is we need to find our horizontal asymptote. So to find your horizontal asymptote, remember that is where you have to use your degrees of your polynomial. Well, both of these, your numerator and your denominator, have the same degree. So since we get n is equal to m, in order to find your horizontal asymptote, you have to set your coefficients on top of each other and divide. So we have a 1 divided by a 1, which means we're going to get our horizontal asymptote is at y equals 1. So that's how you find your horizontal and vertical asymptotes and how you can find a hole.